Hey everyone, it's Diane here at the greenhouse. Today I'm in my basement and I'm going to transplant a few of these onion seedlings today. Now, as you know, if you watch my videos, I actually trimmed these back on February 9th. Today's February 20th and just look at them. They've grown like crazy, but I'm seeing that they're getting a little thicker around the stem. So that's a good sign. Some of these that are crowded, these are the ones I'm going to pull out today. And I'm going to be putting them in these 6-packs. So they can grow their own root system real well, and it should make transplanting a lot easier. Okay, so that's what we're going to do today. I'm also going to be trimming these down, giving them a haircut again when I transplant them. I realize they're kind of hard to see, but I'm going to try to help here. Some of these, like over here, there's like 2 of them. And, you know, these are probably starting to grow together a little bit. And, you know, this is going to be a little stress on them. But I'm gonna be letting these rest a couple days and without lights, and that should help strengthen them back up. As you can see, here's one I pulled out, got a nice root system, and I'm just gonna take and trim him off again. Okay, and then I'm gonna plant them. Now I'm using a pretty good drainage soil. It's got a lot of perlite in it and some peat and very little bark, some bark, but this should do just fine. And this is going to be so simple to do. You don't want to bury the little seedling too far because onions really don't like to be buried in the soil. They only need to be planted down maybe 1 inch in the soil. They got shallow roots, and that is how they like to grow. So I basically just hold it up around here and then just tap it down in like so. Okay, just like that. So I'm not putting very much in the soil at all, but it's just enough. Let's do a couple more. This is really a simple process, and I'm going to try to get as much done of these today as I can. Check the roots out, very nice. And I'm just going to give them a good trim again, get them growing a little bit. As you can see, they're starting to thicken up here on their stem and the bulb. Good to see. I'm just, like I said, I just hold it up, put some soil around them, pack that in just a little bit, and there you go. This will make they'll get a really nice root system going, and when they're ready to transplant, they're just going to take off like crazy when I transplant them out in the garden. So I'm just going to go through this flat and just pick some out. I got 60 I can put in the inserts here, 60 plants. The rest I might just leave in here, and they will possibly, actually I'm going to be out in the greenhouse in, let's see, around March 12th. I'll probably take this flat out there then and transplant them out there if I need to. For now, I'm going to be running out of space indoors, so I'm going to leave the rest of them in here, the ones that I don't transplant, and they should be just fine. These guys are tougher than you think. They're going to get, you know, grow their roots, and some might grow into each other, but once you transplant them out and be very careful with them, and then let them rest a day or so to perk back up, and then let them have some good lighting, they'll do just fine. These little seedlings, they're just amazing how well they'll do for you. I try not to interrupt too much here what's going on. I'm actually trying to find the bigger seedlings, onion seedlings right now. Okay, and I should be saving them tops. I did last time. They can be used for throwing on your cooking, whatever you want to use some onion flavor for. So it's going to go pretty well here, and it's not hard. They're not hard to transplant at all, so don't be afraid to do it. But I've noticed a tremendous amount of growth here this time around. I think they're doing really well. Look at them, real nice. And I'm probably cutting them up probably 1 inch, 1.5 inches, somewhere in there. They look good, and I don't see a problem doing that. And you also, when you transplant them out in the garden, you want to give them a little trim also. Let's do one more, and that'll do it. Just show them to you again. This is amazing. I think this is one of the better ways to grow your own onions instead of buying them. I'm thinking, I haven't actually done this, but I've heard they just do so well for you once you plant them out in the garden. Well, this is fun. A little tedious maybe, but it's going to be okay. I'm not going to do them all today, thank goodness. So what I do, water them in, let them rest. The easiest thing I found is to trim them all in the flat, and then to start pulling out the larger ones that you need. And I noticed now, once I got this trimmed, that they're getting a little bit bigger around the green top part. And now show them some love by just going like this. Help them get them sturdied up a little bit, and they're getting really nice. I just want to show you this one. Look at it. It's amazing. They are growing. And also, when you're growing these indoors, try to grow them in your coolest area in your home, under some lighting or south window. They love cooler temperatures. Mine are down in my basement. It's probably 65 to 70. Not the coolest, but they seem to be doing okay. Kind of just want to show you. I'm just pulling them out and putting them right in here, and then I'll fill it with soil. And if we look over here, I'm just going to show you. You probably think I'm crazy, but I just go in here and look for the ones that are crowded, fill down about a ½ an inch or so, because you don't want to break it off, and just tug it very so lightly. Now that's how I do it. Seedlings, I've found, are very strong. They're much stronger than you ever would anticipate. Right now I'm barely putting them in. I'm probably putting them in probably around a ½ inch or so, and they'll be just fine. You don't want to put them in too deep. That's one thing you don't want to do. But other than that, you're probably thinking, well, can I leave them in this flat right here? You know, it kind of depends on how long. You know, a lot of people don't believe in leaving stuff in. I am actually going to leave these in and all the rest of them, because I got them separated a couple inches apart. Some of them are and some aren't. And then, like I said, I go out in the greenhouse in a couple weeks, a little bit more in a couple weeks, and I might transplant them when I'm out there. That way, because I got a lot of room out there. But you guys use your judgment. You know they will get crowded if you have to leave them in the flat too long. The roots will get crowded and tangled. They won't do as well probably growing. If you put them in individual cells, yeah, they're going to really take off for you. So it's going to be worth doing for sure. I'll just let you watch me here a little bit. Basically, I'm not even doing too much. I'm just setting the soil around it right now, and then I'll shake my tray and let things settle in. I'm going to be watering it with some worm tea. Thank you, Paula. Alan at 2045. She's a peach. Okay, I got them all in, and I just go like this. See, it levels it right up. Can you see them? They're very tough. Very, very tough to see. But they're in there. 60 plants. I'm going to water them right now with some worm tea. And like I said, these will sit now. There's no point in putting these under the lights. You don't need to stress them any more than that. Okay, we're done. Alright guys, this is transplanting your onion seedlings. Thanks so much for watching today. Can you see them? They're tiny. And we'll see you in the next video. You got any comments or questions, please post below. I appreciate it. Love the feedback. And hey, we'll see how they do. Bye.